Ben Mallon was a man who knew how to live. He grabbed life with both hands and relished every minute of it. And right beside him, every step of the way, was Chris, the person he loved above all others.
He said to me when we met, "You're my split apart. I've always been searching for you."
His split apart, his other half. Ben and Chris were married in 1986, and together they shared a life full of adventure and love. But it wasn't a marriage without challenges. Ben struggled with Parkinson's disease and scoliosis, and then in 2012 came the unkindest diagnosis of all.
He had a disease called MDS, and the name's about this long, but it basically boils down to bone marrow cancer.
Cancer, terminal cancer, and a future for Chris without her soulmate.
I think he made it easier for me because Ben never complained. The only thing he would complain about was the fact that he maybe couldn't walk with me as far as he wanted to, or we couldn't do things because he couldn't do them and I refused to do them without him.
There was something else that made this time just a little easier for both Ben and Chris: hospice, and Ben's admission to Port Alberni's Ty Watson House.
I'd heard about it in the community, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know where the house was.
Well, Chris was to become very familiar with Ty Watson House, a hospice whose staff was focused on Ben's life and on making his last months with Chris the best they could be. And also a facility with a surprising connection to another house, a cottage, the Potluck Ceramics Cottage, owned by the Port Alberni Fundraising Co-op and operated by volunteers.
When you open up an end-of-life care facility and you have to fear for your funds to operate the house, that's scary because you cannot just close the doors of a house like that and say, "We don't have money, now you need to go home."
Helma knows whereof she speaks. She volunteered for hospice and saw firsthand the need for consistent funding, and convinced that there is a better way to fill that need, she founded the Port Alberni Fundraising Co-op, a community service co-op whose mandate is to run for-profit businesses that donate their profit to quality of life services and programs in the Alberni Valley. And although they donate to other services as well, their donations to Ty Watson House have topped $100,000.
The importance of having something which raises money towards the operating cost of the house is huge. And our volunteers here all realize that. They realize how important it is, especially to support the kitchen of the house.
Well, Potluck Ceramics has been our biggest support in that kitchen. And the money does go to the kitchen, and it's very important. It is the heart of the home.
The heart of the home that could itself be called the heart of the community. Ben Mallon passed away at Ty Watson House in 2015, surrounded by love and with Chris at his side. Chris herself has since become house manager of the facility, bringing with her the compassion and understanding that was born of experience. And Potluck Ceramics remains a unique social enterprise committed to quality of life in the Alberni Valley. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot.